unicorns, and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, I'm Vanessa and I, and welcome to the fam. So guys, in today's pick a card reading, we're going to be discussing what is happening on or before November 1st. So this is a really exciting video about the upcoming 2 weeks that we have left of October. I'm so baffled that I'm even saying this right now. I can't believe that the year is almost over. But nevertheless, here in the Unicorn fam, we understand that we can make the best of any moment in time, no matter whether it's at the beginning of a calendar year or the end. After all, life is happening now. So in order to help you figure out exactly what is coming for you on or before November 1st, I have prepared 4 groups that you can choose from, and I would like you to pick one of these 4 groups intuitively. And because I got so many questions about these crystals in my last videos, I will link the sets to my online store down below that contain these exact crystals. So if you feel so drawn to the crystal of your choice that you would like it in your life in physical form, feel free to check out the links. So the 4 groups are as follows. We have the Fluorite, we have the Electroplated Quartz, we have the Pyrite, as well as a clear mountain crystal. And of course, the links to all 4 groups can be found down below in the description box, as well as pinned to the comment section. So all you need to do is click your timestamp and you will be fast forwarded to your corresponding reading. So yeah, you guys, I don't want to waste too much time in the intro. Let's spend more time within the individual groups. So I will be starting off with the first group, which corresponds to the Fluorite, and to all of my other beautiful groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello group number 1, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Fluorite. Let me do a quick close-up for you. This is what the gem of your choice looks like. It's absolutely, hello, zoom in, there we go. Absolutely gorgeous. So let's move into your reading in order to figure out exactly what is coming for you on or before November 1st. So we have the 2 of Swords as well as the 10 of Wands. So group number 1, one thing that I can see here in the 2 of Swords is that there is this indecisiveness, and you have this indecisiveness type of energy around you because you're so overworked. That is one thing that I see in the 10 of Wands. There's too much going on. You're carrying a lot of load, so personal responsibility, but also other people's responsibilities, which I'm going to get into in a second. But coming back to the 2 of Swords, you have to make decisions, and decision fatigue is something that a lot of us suffer from, especially when we have to make so many decisions every day. You end up at the end of the day thinking to yourself, if I just even need to make one more decision, even if it's what I'm going to order for dinner or make for dinner, I think my head is going to explode. So if you can relate to that, group number 1, do know that this is coming from the 10 of Wands, which I said we were still going to go into a bit more detail about the 10 of Wands and responsibilities that you've been taking on that are not yours. So see in the 10 of Wands how you're stemming quite a heavy load, okay? So it's almost like a back-breaking amount that you're carrying on your shoulders. It's like the whole weight of the world. And I want you to know in the 10 of Wands that often we can kind of fall into this place where we're carrying other people's responsibilities on our backs, group number 1, and that's where you have to be very careful and remind yourself that everybody is responsible for their own life, their own successes and failures, whether it is a sibling, a parent, a close friend. If they are not happy with their life, or they are too lazy to do the work needed in order to have the success in their life that they desire, it's not your responsibility to stem their work, okay, or to stem the load for them. Absolutely not, especially if you know that this is not a situation that will be reciprocated by that person. So if you know that that person won't do the same thing for you and is actively not doing the same thing for you because they're allowing you to literally break your back over their drama or their workload that they're pushing onto you, no, you need to make the decision to free yourself of that extra responsibility, and then you will most likely have more energy to evade that decision fatigue, group number one, and move into a space where making decisions comes more easily and in a relaxed manner because you know that you're carrying your workload, not other people's. Next up, we have metamorphosis. So in metamorphosis, I see profound change coming for you on or before November 1st. So metamorphosis is all about this change happening from a place of self-awareness. And this self-awareness is something that comes very naturally once you really just jot down the list of everything that is stressing you out, everything that you feel you're overworked by, and then you start to slowly pick through the list and see, this is not my responsibility. Crossing that out, this I actually don't really need to do. It's just on this list because I just wanted to look busy at one point, but now I actually am really busy, so I can cross that out. So just being very real and honest with yourself about the changes that need to be made in order for you to feel lighter and just like your life has been enhanced, really, group number one. Next up, we have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is a very generous type of queen with a lot of tenacity. The Queen of Wands is somebody who has passion for what it is that they do. So I do see that when you free yourself from unnecessary strain, responsibilities, and just weight on your shoulders, you will feel more of a passion and drive for life and the things that have always sparked joy within you. Next up, we have the Queen of Cups, as well as the Magician. So this is a really interesting combination, group number one. I want you to know in the Queen of Cups that this very authentic energy is what is around you, and in correspondence to the Queen of Wands, you just have this leadership type of energy here for you with these next 2 weeks, okay, up until November 1st. So moving into that leadership position of yourself, again, of your authentic self, because we all, to a certain degree, have leadership qualities, at least to lead ourselves, right? So I see you finding that again, and I see in the Magician here that there are some synchronicities that are showing up in your life up until November 1st that you are manifesting with, okay, that you're able to manifest with. So let's do a quick close-up. Ooh, the lighting is very bright. There we go. So this is the Magician, okay? And I do see here this type of manifestation energy around for you, where you can make the most out of the synchronicities that are present because you see them, you realize what they're trying to say to you, you feel them, and you actively move into that energy. Next up, we have flow like water. So you may take a trip to a spa, to a beach if you can, or a lake, just somewhere where you can be near the water. It could even be taking a hike near a stream. I absolutely love hiking along the streams here in Switzerland. It is so beautiful. So just finding a way to connect with the water is where I see you being able to retreat, find that personal space where you can kind of think about your metamorphosis, where you can kind of think about the things that matter to you and the things that maybe you've been putting up with that you shouldn't have. Next up, we have planning a vacation. So I do see here that up until the 1st of November, you're thinking of a vacation, you're actively engaging in planning a vacation, so picking out different spots, different hotels, writing down exactly what it is that you want to do, where you want to go, thinking of a budget, of a time where you want to go on this vacation. So I do see here that there is this kind of like, oh, I wish I could go somewhere, but unfortunately the current economic climate may not allow it for you, depending on where you live and what your situation is, but that is where you're being called to make the most out of your space and maybe explore your immediate surroundings a lot more than you usually would, because let's be real, often we live in beautiful places, beautiful countries that we love, but when we think about it, we've actually not seen that much of it. So this is a great chance for you to think vacation close to home. Then we have the Hunter, as well as the Shapeshifter, last but not least, group number one. So in the Hunter, one thing that I can see here is that you're getting real about your fears of letting go of certain responsibilities. So you may be afraid that you're going to let somebody down, right? That somebody is going to kind of be mad at you when you let go of their responsibilities that they've just dished onto your plate without even asking you, which is so bizarre, isn't it? Group number one, how you can be worried about somebody's reaction who isn't worried to make you break your back, who isn't worried to make you feel stressed, to make you feel overworked. But that is again where this metamorphosis, this reality check and self-awareness comes into play. I see here in the shapeshifter that you are transforming from that place of insecurity, of fear, of anxiety, of how they're going to react, to moving to kind of unveiling your gifts, your leadership qualities when it comes to your life, and the fact that you can make decisions, stick to them, and do what's right for you, regardless of how somebody else may perceive it as. You know what feels right for you, and you know when to take that break, because that is one of the most important things that we can do for ourselves. That is the best sort of self-care, to give yourself a break when you need it, even if it is a break doing something that you love, but just a break from responsibility, a break from what other people would like us to do. So taking a vacation right now is a fantabulous idea for you, group number one. So take this time, take these next 2 weeks to not only plan a vacation, but initiate the first steps towards that freedom, towards that free time for yourself and your soul. So group number one, we are at the end of your reading. I truly hope that you found it insightful and that you enjoyed it and that you found that it resonated with your situation. Leave a little airplane emoji down below in the comment section. Even though we're not going to be, going on planes anytime soon, leave the airplane emoji down below to let me and others know that you made it to the end of your reading and that you enjoyed it. I'm wishing you an amazing day or night whenever you decided to tune in, and I'll catch you in another video. Hello, group number two, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Electroplated Quartz, group number two. So this is essentially a quartz that has been dyed. It is so beautiful. It comes with this almost like iridescent type of sheen depending on how the light shines on it. So you made an excellent choice, group number two. Let's move into your reading to figure out what's coming on or before November 1st for you. So we have the 9 of Swords as well as the 7 of Swords. So group number two, one thing that I can see here in the 7 of Swords is that it's very important for you to be careful when it comes to information that you're taking in. Okay, somebody, some source, it could be the media, it could be somebody that you already had a funny feeling about, as I can see here in the 9 of Swords, that you've already been thinking like, is this really the true number? Is this really the true digit of what's going on economically in this world? How many people are really affected and how much is just blown up by the media? Or for instance, thinking to yourself, how truthful is this person really towards me? So this is a very individual thing, okay? Each country, each person, you have different types of news outlets, different types of people who are affecting your life, who are feeding you information. And I can see here in the 7 of Swords, there is this epiphany that is coming towards you where you're going to realize that some people have a way of speaking and saying things where they are a lot more confident than they probably should be because they do not have facts to back up the things that they're saying. And that is where I see here in the 7 of Swords that there may be a little bit of a rude awakening. But group number two, there's a reason why you're tuned into this reading, why you're here in this very moment, and why you're meant to hear this. This is so that you can protect yourself, be cautiously optimistic, and allow things to unfold as they will. Next up, we have the Empress, as well as the 3 of Cups. So I do know here that there is some celebration going on, and there are people around you, maybe even you, who are in a very fertile state, as I can see here in the Empress. Okay, so with partying, maybe even alcohol, other substances being involved, there may be this kind of new life that is coming into being, when two people get together and things get kind of intimate and hot and so on. So be very careful if that is not something that you're interested in. And if there are people around you who are trying for that situation, okay, so this is a little bit overlit, there we go, who are trying to be in that situation where they are a parent or they are bringing their relationship with their significant other to the next level. Get excited for them, okay, because it is happening. The 3 of Cups is all about having fun, but also having compassion and being excited for the people around you, for those who you know would be excited for your success as well. Next up, we have the mountains. So in the mountains, stand your ground, group number 2, as we spoke about here in the Seven of Swords, this situation where somebody is trying to feed you certain information and somebody is trying to tell you, no, but listen, this is how it is, but they don't actually have facts, right? They're just telling you like, no, just listen to me without any facts. I see here in the mountain, like, stand your ground, group number 2. There's no reason why you should give somebody the benefit of the doubt who cannot even give you the peace of mind of showing you evidence, of showing you that things are actually the way that they're saying that it is. Plus, I mean, when somebody says, just listen to me, don't look at the facts or listen to anybody else or even consider anybody else's opinion, whether that is a medical professional, a friend, somebody who you're working with or for, that's a red flag when somebody says, well, you know, I know everything and don't even waste your time thinking about doing your own research. Red flag, group number 2, look out for that before November 1st. Next up, we have the Sage. So in the Sage, one thing that I can see here is a lot of devotion and commitment. And this is something really beautiful to see show up in your reading, especially after the situation of you potentially falling prey to somebody's talk, to somebody's just like sweet talking, just telling you their opinion, which may have some sort of like, may have something in it for them. Well, definitely has something in it for them, and that's basically the only reason why they're trying to influence you. But I see here in the Sage that you're very much committed to going your own route, continuing your journey and making sure that nobody fools you and you know right from wrong, being committed to your integrity. Next up, we have Autumn. So autumn is something that a lot of us are actually going through. Autumn is all about releasing the old, resting, and getting ready for winter. So just as a tree goes through this time in autumn where it no longer needs its leaves, it's actually just chewing up kind of more resources and energy than necessary, and it has to just let those leaves shed and fall, which is a very beautiful, impressive thing in itself, a very intelligent thing by nature. One thing that I do want you to know here in autumn is to use that same analogy for yourself. It's a time to do like an autumn clean, just like there are spring cleans, do like an autumn clean. Really sit down and maybe journal, maybe write this down, the things that you needed or used throughout the year that you no longer do. I mean, it could be, for instance, hope of going on a vacation. It could be old items that you no longer need. Just shed it and be free without thinking to yourself like, oh, I still have this hope of doing X, Y, and Z. If the reality looks different, if the facts just speak against that coming to use before, you know, next year or before a certain time where you will have already replaced that item or it will have already expired, get rid of those thoughts, of those items, of those plans if you know that it's not possible anyways, right? Group number 2, don't keep your hopes in a place where your hopes will never come to fruition. It's just wasted energy on nothing, on hopes. Next up, we have the Medicine Guardian. So instead of hoping, actually commit to healing, actually commit to putting yourself in a place where you're using all your energy towards things that will provide you with success, right? That will show you that, what I'm investing my energy in actually makes sense, and that can heal a lot of self-doubt. So do know that, especially if you're an entrepreneur, and this is something that I've learned along my journey, the more little successes that you have, the more you heal those wounds of the failures that you've been through. I mean, I've had business ventures that I've just tried that have failed. I have done a lot of things before I found something that worked both for me personally as a human being, for my integrity, but also worked as something that people needed, that people wanted from me specifically. So the more you kind of have these little successes and commit to taking little steps forward that are most likely going to show you success, the more those successes make you confident and they heal any part of you that may have been insecure from past experiences that maybe weren't ideal. Next up, we have alone time. So why did I say it like that? Alone time. Alone time, group number 2. Alone time is what I meant to say. So alone time is what you're going to be experiencing more of up until November 1st. Now, don't freak out about that, especially if you're in a place where a situation is trying to gaslight you into believing something that you know isn't necessarily true or might only benefit that person, that institution. Alone time might sometimes make you overthink or even question yourself, especially if you're being gaslit by somebody. So in alone time, really take time to just celebrate the fact that you're so devoted to the truth, that you're so committed to the truth and committed to yourself and standing your ground, rather than allowing any type of self-deprecating thoughts or second thoughts to creep in and put you in a place of insecurity. Next up, we have spending time with animals. So if you have pets, group number 2, you're going to be spending a lot more time with them. You're going to be giving them more of that TLC that they've maybe needed, that you may have been kind of like lacking right now between you and those animals. But also, if you are somebody who just likes animals, enjoys animals, trying to spend time near them is a really great way to connect not only with more of an instinctual side of yourself, because there's so much that we can learn when watching animals, when just observing how they live life and how they survive, but it's also in a way very therapeutic to just spend time in almost like their element. So not almost like their element. It is obviously their element if you're spending time in the nature, in the water that is populated, cultivated through other plants, through other animals, through other living beings and species. That is a great way where I can see that you can find very much that centered energy that the Empress suggests from your reading, group number 2. So do that. Make sure you spend time with animals, with 4-legged, 6-legged, 8-legged friends, whatever type of animal it is that you prefer, that you connect with, that you feel is your spirit animal. Spend time around that, watch documentaries, read up on it. I see that it's not only very therapeutic, but also extremely educational for you to do so. So group number 2, we are at the end of your reading. I truly hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Leave a little, let's say a little cat emoji down below, as we do have a cat here within the animals, to let me and others know that you made it to the end of your reading and that it resonated. I'm wishing you an amazing day or night whenever you decided to tune into this reading, and I'll catch you in another video. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Pyrite, group number 3, which is not only a gorgeous stone, but it is also a stone that helps you attract abundance as well as prosperity into your life. Nice choice, group number 3, but let's move into your reading in order to figure out exactly what is coming on or before November 1st for you. We have the 3 of Swords as well as the 6 of Wands. So one thing that I can see here is this phallic masculine energy. The Suit of Swords as well as the Suit of Wands are both masculine suits, and I see here in the 6 of Wands that you taking action, you getting out of your comfort zone is going to not only bring you great joy, but also adventure. Adventure that you've been seeking, that you've been longing for, especially if you feel like life has been a little bit boring. I see here in the 3 of Swords, however, that some people may resent you for that, okay? Some people may feel as though, why are you having so much fun? Why are you able to go out and do all of these fun things? And now, group number 3, you may think to yourself, well, I worked hard for it. Well, I sacrificed to be in this fortunate position. But unfortunately, not everybody understands that, and not everybody understands delayed gratification. They just see all of the great things that are happening in that very moment in your life, and they feel envious, or they feel like, why do you have that and I don't? So in the 3 of Swords, I do see that that can cause a rift in relationships, friendships, but it's very important for you to not let that affect you, because at the end of the day, what good is that going to do? If somebody is jealous, they're jealous. Next up, we have the Princess of Wands. So in the Princess of Wands, I do see here that instead of focusing on any type of drama, it is best for you to focus on what makes you happy and what you're truly passionate about. The Princess of Wands could also mean that somebody is coming into your life who has a lot of fire sign type of energy within their birth birth chart. So they may be, for example, an Aries or Leo. I want you to know in the Princess of Wands that they're very out there, they're talkative, and they want to go on this fun adventure with you. Whereas, you know, you will have some people that may feel left behind, but it's not your responsibility to take care of everybody's needs. You first and foremost need to enjoy your life and make yourself happy, group number 3. Next up, we have the moon. So nevertheless, there is a lot of reflection going on. While you are spending a great deal of time just going on fun adventures and doing fun things up until the 1st of November, I see here in the moon that you are still spending time reflecting on your actions, on your friendships, on the people who are in your life, and just overall what your life path is, what you're here on this earth to do. So reflecting on really big questions such as what your life purpose is, what the purpose in life is in general. So we have this very deep philosophical mood, group number 3. You may be enjoying some poetry, some deep music. One thing that I really love to listen to is Chill Step. I will link it down below in the description box. This is just such a beautiful hour-long beat with philosophical like talks in there by Alan Watts and so on. And I just love to do yoga while being in my zone with that. So that is one thing that I see you kind of really resonating with and spending time doing as well. Next up, we have the 9 of Swords. So in the 9 of Swords, I do see here that you are resorting to a lot of self-reflection because in a way you feel this internal conflict. In a way you feel almost like a conflict of interest. Like you want to do really amazing things in this world where you are leading a life that outlives you, where you're doing things that affect other people positively, but then at the same time, you're kind of a little bit stuck on how exactly to do it, because often we hear of charities, of different organizations that we may want to support, actually not using the funds for what we intended for them to. So it's like, well, you want to do something good, you want to support certain causes, but then you have no certainty that what you are supporting is actually going to be the outcome and so on. You get what I mean, group number 3. So that is where I see in the 9 of Swords a little bit of a conflict, and even thinking to yourself, how can I start my own thing? Maybe not even today, but maybe in the future. That could be my life goal, to do philanthropic work, to start my own type of fund and organization where I can help others in need. Next up, we have the 9 of Wands. So in the 9 of Wands, we have this type of perseverance here. We have this very much driven energy. Yeah, driven energy, group number 3, for you to have fun. I see that you want to make the best of the upcoming weeks. You want to make the best of the rest of the year. And I can see here in the 9 of Wands that you are most likely going to succeed. It is going to be a little bit of a test of strength. It is going to be a little bit of these setbacks that are still coming towards you up until the end of the year. Of course, we all go through challenges and difficulties, but it always feels the best to complete something that wasn't easy, right? That actually challenged you, or where you actually had to test your strength and perseverance to a certain point. So there is this healthy competition, this healthy type of challenge here for you. Next up, we have abundance planning as well as journal. So writing, group number 3, you're going to be a lot of writing, you're going to be a lot of writing, you're going to do a lot of writing, group number 3. The writing is going to entail abundance planning, journaling, so a lot of self-reflection, just like we spoke about in the moon. A lot of you being concerned with your future and yourself. So you being kind of like the center of your universe quite a bit up until the 1st of November, and abundance planning by figuring out exactly how you can create the most abundant life spiritually, also materially. And I do see here in the journal just writing down thoughts, and overall not so much writing for other people, but writing for you, writing to keep track of memories, ideas, which is an invaluable thing to do. I have like a journal full of little notes and memories. It's like right over there on the couch on the other side of this room, and I love to just jot down my ideas, because at a later point you're going to think to yourself, oh my God, thank God I wrote this down, because your mind can't keep all of your great ideas safe. It doesn't. So have a journal or something with you all the time where you can write down great ideas that just spark this joy and passion within you. Next up, we have the drum. So the drum is all about kind of going on a journey, okay? And also a bit of a dreamy type of journey. So dreams are things that are coming into your life these next 2 weeks, and these dreams come with a big journey. So you're going to be dreaming about things that are far away, okay? Things that are not very close to you geographically, so going on adventures, going on trips. It could also be because you're just dreaming about finally being able to travel again freely. The reasons for that are different ones. It could also come from journaling and abundance planning. Maybe you're journaling about manifesting your dream life, and your dream life entails traveling the world, living potentially in another country, or just overall seeing different cultures. So that is where I see here in the drum that you're awakening this subconscious type of fire in you that may show itself in different dreams, but also like daydreaming about being in a different place. Next up, we have the lady. So group number 3, in the lady, I see here you enjoying growth of your projects, enjoying a growth of everything whose like little seed you planted prior to the month of October, but enjoying the rewards, okay, reaping the rewards. So just as the day you plant the seed isn't the day that you harvest the fruit, that is the type of delayed gratification that I see surfacing here up until November 1st. So being able to taste some of the sweet fruit, some of the success that you have wanted, that you have worked very hard for. But it's important for you, group number 3, to remind yourself to temper that appetite and to make sure that you let things grow to the point where it's really ripe enough for consumption, okay? So your work is ready to be enjoyed, and the work that you've put in is now at a point where you can actually kind of like let it go or take a little bit out of the bank, figuratively and literally, and make sure that you're not doing so too prematurely, because premature fruit is not only lacks taste or is very sour, but it can in some instances even be poisonous, okay? So make sure that you keep that analogy in mind. You totally get what I mean, group number 3. You guys are all always really smart, and you intuitively understand what I mean and where I'm going. Even though I'm talking about fruit and poisonous fruit and growing, you get it. And make sure that you let that guide you for these next weeks in order to ensure that you're reaping rewards where rewards are ready to be reaped, and you're leaving others to really just get ready to be in full bloom and as sweet as they should be. So group number 3, we are at the end of your reading, and I truly hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful, that it resonated with you. Leave a little apple emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that you made it to the end of your reading, especially because we were talking about a lot of fruit here in the end. So yeah, whenever you decided to tune into this video, I wish you an amazing rest of your day or night, and I'll speak to you in another reading. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Clear Mountain Crystal, group number 4. This is such a beautiful crystal. It is just sleek and subtle, and it just makes every space feel a bit more cleansed, which is exactly what it does. Its healing ability is to cleanse negative energies out of spaces, which may be exactly why you felt drawn to it. But let's move into your reading in order to figure out what is coming on or before November 1st for you. So we have the Magician as well as the Knight of Pentacles. So group number 4, one thing that I can see here in the Magician is that there's a lot of fun coming for you, and that there are a lot of different facets. This is a very multifaceted time where there are emotional periods. There are periods of a lot of work. There are periods where you're reaping a lot of benefits and rewards, but also sometimes where you just feel like you're in over your head with life. So there is a lot going on in your life, and I can see here in the Knight of Pentacles that somebody who can really help support you is this person who is grounded, this person who knows exactly what they're doing and what to say in the right moment to make you smile. So that person that you can get a text from in the morning, and the rest of your day is just awesome. The rest of your day just feels so much better. So this could be somebody new coming into your life, or somebody who already exists within your life who is supporting you on your journey, supporting you up until the 1st of November and helping you get through this crazy time, group number 4. Next up, we have the 7 of Rings. So in the 7 of Rings, I do see here that you are investing your time and your money wisely, group number 4, okay? I'm proud of you. I see here in the 7 of Rings that because you're learning to become more and more financially literate and just intelligent with your assets, okay, your time as well, I see that that is really just helping you grow your portfolio, helping you invest in things that make sense to invest in and that have longevity. Next up, we have the 9 of Wands. So in the 9 of Wands, I do see here that you're just right before the finish line of a big project, of a big breakthrough. I see that on November 1st, you're going to be like just this far away from that next goal, from that next target. So you're being called to persevere, to motivate yourself, and to stay inspired by life, to stay inspired by your goals. Next up, we have a 2 of Cups. So the 2 of Cups is a card that often speaks of love, not only platonic love with friends and family, but also romantic love. So group number 4, I do want you to know here, the 2 of Cups speaks of a balanced social life, a balanced emotional life where you're not everywhere and, you know, some days you feel very lonely and like crying, and some days you feel really good about yourself, but just overall, this is a very balanced time where you feel the love constantly. You feel a constant supply of love. Now, in correspondence to the Knight of Pentacles, if you're single and you're looking to mingle, okay, group number 4, the 2 of Cups speaks of the ability of somebody coming into your life who is a romantic interest, who uplifts you, who sends you that little good morning beautiful text, good morning handsome text, and you're like just on cloud 9 for the rest of the day. So I do want you to know here that love has a great chance of establishing itself within the next 2 weeks. Then we have the Ace of Wands show up within your reading. The Ace of Wands, just like every ace, is good news. The ace, the number 1, speaks of initiating, starting something new. In correspondence to the Suit of Wands, as we do have the Ace of Wands present here, I see a lot of ambition coming from you. I see a lot of that willpower and just overall that energy to get things done and to move forward with fresh ideas, to focus on what you're passionate about. So rekindling with yourself motivation and telling yourself like, hey, as long as I'm passionate about it, it's going to work out and everything is going to be fine. Next up, we have chanting as well as hydrate. So group number 4, if you're thirsty right now, okay, if you're a thirsty plant, make sure that you water yourself, that you hydrate, that you spend enough time thinking of that next glass of water or just overall that next drink that you're going to have. But do also remind yourself that a lot of fluid, a lot of hydration can come from food. So having plant-based foods, fresh plant-based foods, okay, if you're having some sort of dried plants, dried fruit, it is of course not the same as if you're going to eat something zesty, something that is full of water. So do make sure that you're hydrating enough, especially if you tend to come to a point where you're thirsty before you drink, because if you feel thirsty, it's already over group number 4. You're already dehydrated. So make sure that you combat dehydration well before it even gets to that point. In chanting, I do see here that connecting with music and just singing is a way how you're really bringing more light into your life. It is something that is keeping you balanced and in a way inspiring you. Just being around music, singing, whether you feel you're a good singer or not, but just overall, just having this sound come from you and also collectively work with other sounds, okay? So you may play an instrument while you sing, you may listen to some sort of recording, to some sort of song that you're chanting to that just overall gives you better vibes. Next up, we have writing a gratitude list. So group number 4, I see here that in these next 2 weeks, there's just a lot of gratitude radiating from you, which is most likely why you're also connecting with music so well, because the lyrics really just hit home, they mean something, but you're also kind of appreciative of the fact that you're able to feel all of the emotions that you're feeling. And writing a gratitude list, I do see that that can bring a lot of great epiphanies, a lot of great thoughts into your mind that you didn't consider prior to writing a gratitude list. but now all of a sudden you understand like, wow, this is really something that I never thought about, but that I should probably be more grateful for. Next up, we have the wise one as well as the lady that just popped into your reading. So in the wise one thing that I can see here is growth coming in your current situation, especially because you're learning from the past. So there's nothing happening that is going to strike you very negatively or that is going to completely change your life, group number 4. I gotta be honest with you, but sometimes, have you ever realized when it takes a certain amount of time to process things? So you will study like crazy 2 days before an exam or 2 days before you're tested for something, and you kind of know it, but you're still a little bit insecure about it because the knowledge hasn't really solidified. But then all of a sudden 2 weeks later, after the exam has already come and gone, after you've already showed everybody that you studied, that you learned what you had to learn, all of a sudden you feel like the knowledge has really solidified itself. It's really kind of like found a space in your brain where you can access it, make use of it, and it comes up in certain situations where you're like, oh, that's why the system is like this. Oh, that's why the body functions this way. And all of a sudden you feel like, great, now I really feel like I know this thing and it really makes sense. I feel like I could even explain it to somebody now that I don't even need it, now that the time has come and gone. So that is where the wise one comes in, and just this sacred knowledge, okay, just this wisdom, where from something that has happened weeks or months ago, all of a sudden within these next 2 weeks, you feel like that knowledge and everything that you attempted to learn is actually now coming to a point where it's really been able to process and you're actually able to use it, which I see here in the lady that you're enjoying this growth, this internal growth, as well as all of a sudden being able to connect all the dots. So it's just like, for instance, tarot, oracle cards, just the law of attraction, different ways of manifesting. When you're just starting out, when you're just learning these things, it can be really hard to connect the dots. It can be confusing. It's like, what is this girl talking about? What is 4 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, 7 of Rings? Like, what even does this mean? But the more you engage with these things, the more time that you spend just taking in information, even if it doesn't always 100% make sense or you're not 100% sure how it connects with other areas of life, other areas of knowledge, all of a sudden you will come to a point where everything connects. All of the dots all of a sudden intertwine, they speak to one another, they are connected to one another, and you see how everything is interconnected and is just this divine web of information that you can access and that just makes sense also with human life and life on this planet. It's almost like everything connects to one another and everything makes sense in a very divine way. So there is this big sense of awakening coming for you, group number 4, and I do see here in the lady that you're completely just reaping the rewards of work that you've put in and knowledge that you have garnered prior to this very moment in your life. So group number 4, I truly hope that you enjoyed your reading and that you found it insightful. Make sure that you leave a little water drop emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that this is a group that you chose and that you're going to hydrate. Okay, get out that water bottle as soon as you're done this video and make sure that you drink, group number 4. Very important. So wherever you are in this world, I'm sending you so much love and I'll catch you in another video.